Hey, everybody. Welcome to The Experience, live with Russ and Scott.
Welcome to The Experience, live with Russ and Scott.
Join us every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Special thank you to our sponsors, Brew Coffee and Tap House in Independence, Oregon on Main Street. For more information, call 503-837-0279. And Realistic Replicas by Brian. For more information, go to replicas.com. And finally, the AG Better Network and Christine Smith. For more information, go to agbetternetwork.com. Ta-da! Here we are. Woohoo! It's The Experience live with Russ and Scott. We are ready to roll. It is Wednesday morning already. Scott, can you believe it?
No, I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time that we're already done with January. We're into February, and February is just flying by. But it's always
It's crazy.
highlight. It's always a highlight on The Experience on Wednesdays because I get to hang out with you, Russ, my good friend, and meet with the most remarkable people on the planet.
We do. And you know what? It is an amazing day because, a lot of people look at it like a hump day. And, I really think that's a negative connotation. Like we've barely made it. We're just, we're creeping through the week. We made it to Wednesday. All we got to do is make it to Friday and then it's the weekend. I think you're letting life pass you by. And
Yep.
I think that people need to look at every day of the week like, woohoo, like I love Mondays. People think I'm crazy, but it's the beginning of an amazing week and great opportunities. And Wednesday is a day where you can look back and think, I got some really cool things done on Monday and Tuesday. And now I get a great chance on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to do more. So there you go.
I love it. My father would always talk about people who were wishing their lives away. Oh, I wish it was 5 o'clock. I wish it was Friday. I wish I was on vacation. I wish I was retired. And man, you're just missing so many good things. And it's like, is today not enough? And we've got some great guests.
Oh, we do. We do. And every week, everybody, on The Experience Live with Russ and Scott, we are here 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for your listening and viewing pleasure. And after that, this sits on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube where we broadcast to infinity and beyond. And you can watch that. It is a video podcast. Then it converts to an audio podcast. You can listen on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, whatever your favorite podcast platform is.
That's right.
If I can speak,
wherever you find podcasts.
There you go. Wherever you find it. And you can also share this and bless other people with it. And we would encourage you this morning to do that. Share this out and let other people know that The Experience Live with Russ and Scott's on. And we have Sri and Geoff on today. It's going to be amazing. So you want to do that. Also, we want to encourage you to subscribe on YouTube. We're trying to grow our YouTube page and getting that going. It's easy. Just go to the experience.video. That's right. The experience.video will take you directly to our YouTube page. In fact, you can go there right now, open another tab, click on subscribe, and you're done. It's all good to go. And that will give you the amazing guests that we've had on in the past. And there's been a lot of them. And you're not going to want to miss that. You can binge the experience from now on instead of binging Netflix. There you go.
All these streaming services, the plans are they're changing. It's just not as much fun as it used to be. So go to The Experience, hang out with the best people on the planet, and you'll be happy.
You'll be happy. You know what?
Hey, I want to
Happiness is a choice too. So choose to be happy.
absolutely.
Go ahead, Scott.
I want to put a plug in for Hope 1079. I'm going to add this into the comments. So, speaking of YouTube channels, we're just getting started with a local radio station, Hope 1079. It was actually one of my first clients when I went independent over 10 years ago. And I am
Wow.
on the board, and I'm going to be helping produce a show coming up on the 15th with Carol Mencken Shout. Yeah, Carol Mencken is an Olympic gold medal winner and played basketball on the U.S. Olympic team as well as Oregon State University. And she is just a wonderful person. She's doing a show for businesses. Anyway, that's coming up. And so we're going to be building that YouTube channel up from scratch. So please follow that. It doesn't cost anything to follow a YouTube channel. And so help us out there. And Russ, we've got kind of a secret announcement coming up.
Yeah, we're going to give a little teaser. We have a new show that's tied into this show, The Experience Local. Everybody everywhere will be interested in this because it's important to focus on your local community where you are. We love the web, we love being worldwide, but it's important to have that local flavor. And so wherever you are living today, you know, bless and focus on the local people around you and help them and support them. This is what this is all going to be. And Scott and I being believers, it's going to be all about believers in business. And we're going to be focusing on local people in our area. So we're excited about that. It's going to be rebroadcast on radio as well. And so we're excited about that. And I just got to put in a quick note on Carol because Carol has been a great friend of mine also for years. And she is such a humble and amazing person. And people may not know this. And you can look her up on the internet. But she played for Pat Summitt in the 1984 Olympics. Well, Pat Summitt was the queen of basketball at the time. Pat Summitt has since passed, but she was the top coach in women's basketball. And who else was on the 84 Olympics? Let's think. Coming out of college, that would have been Michael Jordan. So, so actually, Carol got to travel with Michael Jordan because the men's and women's teams traveled together. And she got to know him before he was big and famous. And so, yeah, very exciting little tidbit. And you would never know that she is a gold medal winner in the Olympics when you meet her because she's so down to earth. So anyway, I'm excited. And you know who else is excited? I think it's time to get our guests in the room, don't you?
Yeah, let's get to the good part of the show.
There we go. Well, we always go ladies first. So, Geoff, you're going to have to hang tight with that big smile back there. We're going to bring Sri in first. Here she comes, our co-host of The Experience Backstage. Woo,
Yeah.
Sri Mahabir. Woo.
I'm doing the Miss America wave. Or Miss
There we
Universe.
go.
There you go. You know, that wave.
Here
or
she
parade.
comes.
There you go. You still your Miss America days are still there. You can still go for that.
Well, you know, I don't know. My daughter might make fun of me, but I enjoy every Wednesday morning to go live with you guys on Instagram. And we have so much fun. So if you guys aren't coming to visit us, you need to.
And how long have we been doing the Experience Backstage on Instagram with you, Sri?
This year marks 2 years because I remember the first time I went live with Russ, and Russ was like, I know what I'm doing. I don't need you to tell me what to do. And then the time comes, he had to take the app off of his phone and put it back on. And then he had to remember his passcode. And then he finally came, and I was sitting here like, okay.
I was a little prideful, I admit it, because Scott and I had been doing live streaming for quite a while, and I didn't realize that Instagram is different. And so not only did I not have the right version of the Instagram app, but yes, I had to sit there and think of things. So Sri had to basically talk and fill
Carry
time.
the show.
Well, I made it. I made it on the show finally. And then I realized we needed Sri's help, and that is when we started the Experience Backstage, which is a great show. A lot of, we have fun. Sri gives amazing video tips, but it's a lot of us just getting ready for this show and kind of trying to bring that Instagram community over with us to watch. And hopefully some of them are here today.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Sri. Been a blessing. Been a blessing.
There's
Well, let's back up. Sri, tell
yeah,
us.
let's hear about Shri's world, because
Yes.
you know, we talk a lot about video and the power of video and how to do it. And of course, Russ, you just had this great experience, or a great story about your first experience on Instagram Live. Of course, when we did the Experience Live, episode 1, season 1, I woke up to no power, and so I had to do Instagram, or do our show, the Experience Live, from my car with my phone, using the dome light as my lighting source. So Shri, tell people what's going on in your world.
So what's going on in my world is that I am still doing live streaming. I'm still doing video and helping others to get confident on camera. But now I'm focusing on the medical, dental, and law practices to help them build visibility, because all of us are looking to build that authority. We want to be top of mind, but we're not sure how to do it. And after reviewing so many profiles, social media profiles, I do this for free, where I go through and I ask the question, because a lot of times when you're so close to it, you can't see it. You can't see what you're missing. And a lot of times I just ask this one question. I'm like, how does this even relate to me? Like, why do I need to know this? Why are you, I understand you want $1 million lawsuit, which is great, but what does that have anything to do with me? Or I see a lot of these younger influencers who are putting outfit of the day. And I think, well, what does that have to do with anything? Because we're seeing that mature audiences, they're not really, they're like, okay, that's cute, but what does that have to do with me? And I would also, say by doing that, it also helps me when I put out content and I'm sharing this with you. If I'm feeling this way watching someone else's content, imagine what others are feeling about yours. Like, why does this matter? And if you were to do a review of just even of others who are in your industry, you will notice that there's just so many, but how do you stick out? What makes you unique? And then it falls back to your story, your experiences, how you've helped clients walk through that path. For example, with Russ, I remember just the number one thing in that was being patient, because sometimes many like to learn the hard way. I'm not trying to put Russ out there, but many have to learn the hard way. But the difference is you just be patient and you walk them through and you help them get through that. And that's what sometimes they need, like clients need, even I need. Like sometimes I need to hit the wall before learning, hey, Sri, you need to come back. Let's try this again. You've been doing the same thing over and over again, called insanity, and you're getting the same results. How about we try something new?
Well, I got to jump in and say, Sri, that you and I have had some very interesting and amazing things to overcome in live streaming together. We've told my story about Instagram Live, but also I don't know if it was the first time you were on with me. It might have been on Marketing with Russ, and was the day that you had just been laid off and you were not in good spirits, but you came on live anyway in spite of that, which all by itself is a huge testimony to you. And so I'm just thankful. But we have some pretty crazy memories.
We do. You know what? At the end of the day, I made a promise to you. I made a commitment. And I find that a lot of times with guests, they'll say, yeah, I want to book. But then when the day, right when the day comes, something happens. I had an experience recently. I booked the guest like back in August. And then I already posted the event. And then they're like, oh, I last minute booked to go to this event. And I was just like, but that's not a real emergency. You're falling short of your commitment, which says a lot about you, because what we do in our personal, outside of what, things that we want to put this face that we're so good and we're out there for our clients, but then for colleagues, we short them. Why are we doing that? Like, I want to challenge that and say, we're not talking about that enough. And to me that day, even though I could have said, Russ, I lost my job. I still said, you know what? I lost my job and I stopped being somebody who is an employee to become an entrepreneur. So my new door was coming onto your show, holding back the tears, but still being there.
And you did amazing. And speaking of shorting, don't want to short our next guest. We want to get him in the room because Geoff is an amazing friend, amazing individual. Mr. Geoff Tyson in the house. Woo-hoo.
Woo!
Oh yeah, bravo! Thank you guys so much. And I was just enjoying the show, man. I'm taking notes and and hearing the experiences that you guys have had. So thank you so much for having me here today.
Well, speaking of the experience of life, tell everybody a little bit about Mr. Geoff Tyson. I've been blessed and amazed to be on your show, and you've been on my other live stream, and we've had a relationship now for quite a while. I can't even remember how long we've known each other, but you are an amazing man of God, and I appreciate you. Give us a little insight about Geoff Tyson.
Absolutely, and thank you again, Russ, for doing this. So everybody knows my name is Geoff Tyson, and I'm known as the comeback king, right? And I got that name from people that have seen me go through childhood struggles, like many of you, to losing my NFL dream, to finding a great corporate life, and then, the mask came off, and I had to restart my life again because there's a journey about hiding behind the feelings. There's a journey about stuffing feelings. How many of us out there learned how to stuff feelings as we grew up, right? And then finding myself in a place where, man, I am capable of starting my own business and leaving corporate America. And the journey began to become an entrepreneur over the last 25 years, and most recently in the real estate industry and helping real estate investors start their business and grow their business while generating millions of dollars a year in revenue. And what I'm up to now most recently is, like Russ mentioned, hosting a Conversations with Geoff YouTube channel where our purpose and our mission, is to leave empowering information, having real life guests come on like Russ and talk and share their story about the battle. I believe the gift is in the comeback, baby, finding the magic in the comeback. Like Sri said, her door was open. Right? Her door was open, man, when she didn't want to show up. And we got to show up in life when we don't want to. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. Because the magic is on the other side of that. So, and then him here today just to be a part of a connection with you folks. And I'm loving the energy. I love the purpose. Russ, as you mentioned, man, you've been a brother that stepped into my life and just always been consistent, always been encouraging, so I'm grateful to be here on your show this morning. Thank you, guys.
And Geoff, I got to compliment you on your office there. I'm loving the back of those two chairs in the back. They just remind me, we had an office with one of our businesses, and we had a couple of very comfortable chairs like that. We called them the collaboration chairs because when you sit down and you're comfortable and you're with someone you can work with and kind of bounce ideas off and dream a little bit and scheme a little bit. Yeah. So I'm just thinking there's got to be some magic that has happened in those two chairs right behind you.
Oh, Scott, I got to tell you, man, they start every morning because this is where my wife and I huddle up, right? And I have the chair where my legs go on the recliner because, I'm overcoming some lymphatic issues and I need to have my legs up. That's the excuse for sitting back next to the window, right? And my wife sits on the other one, man, and we huddle up. We bring the spirit of life into our world and we talk about things and we talk about each other. And, I talk a lot about my wife, man, because she is my hero, right? And just like many of you guys out there that may be married or may not, it's having a partner that stands next to you and is always there. It's just, that's where the magic starts. I don't want to get off the subject.
So I'm just saying, yeah, so that's good. I thought there was something going on there. So that's a beautiful story.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah.
So today is the Texas to Oregon show from Houston to Salem or thereabouts. And so, yeah, we are. And what's really interesting, so I could tell a story about this, but the two of you have not met yet, both in Houston. I have met people. So I also produce the Glitter Practitioner, who is a sponsor of the Experience Backstage, by the way. I produce her show every Monday, Dr. Nupi Aurora. She introduced me to Devin James Stinson in Portland, Oregon. and she's in Manchester, England. So a lot of times we need people on the other side of the world to introduce us to people that are right in our back doors. There we go. And so there you go. And Scott's heading to Texas coming up here. I'm jealous. I'm wanting to come to Texas too. So yeah, pretty exciting. But I think, Geoff, let me just ask you another quick question about your show, because we're, Sri being a video queen and all of that. What really was the driving factor in you doing your YouTube live stream show? Because I know you're the comeback king. I know you've got so much wisdom and amazing insight as I've been on your show and watched your show. But what really was the driving factor in you starting that?
And I'm just going to say, Russ, I put delta.com in the comments in case you want to book a flight.
Oh, there you go. Got it. Okay.
I'm going to make it easy for you.
Make it easy for him, Scott. No more excuses, Russ, man. You got to come on down now.
That's it. There you go. All right, Geoff, take it away.
Yeah, to answer your question, it's interesting. I'm glad you asked, really, because, my whole purpose in life here is about just listening to people. And I had this young lady who I was working with, and we were just having a conversation over a period of maybe a couple of months. And she had different issues going on, and we would talk about them. And I didn't realize, right? I mean, I didn't realize what she was doing. We would talk about them, and she would go back and work on it, whether it was something about her confidence, was something about her lack of courage, being trapped with limiting beliefs like many of us had, right? So we would talk about these things. And she says one day to me, she says, "Geoff, do you have a minute?" And we were talking to my marketing director, and she was on the call. And she says to me, "I don't know if you realize this, but all this time you've been talking to me, I've been stealing things from you to use in my life. I'd go back and I'd put it in place, and I'd try and I'd stumble." And she says, "Did you ever watch the movie, The Matrix?" Right? And I'm thinking, yeah. And she says, well, I said, Leo is the man, right? And she said, yeah, he is the man. But you know who you remind me of? She said, Morpheus, because you were okay just serving me. You were okay just listening to me. And I think that you should have a show, and I think we should call it Conversations with Geoff. And that began. And I said, oh, yeah, that'd be great. And then she called me a month later. I had started the show. And then I said, oh, yeah, that'd be great. And then she called me another month later. And, like Sri said, I had to make a commitment to myself to dare to be scared, to dare to be bold, to show up. Didn't matter if I had the experience. She lighted a fire in me and reminded me of what my purpose is, like many of you guys here today, and that's to serve people, to help them find their magic. So to her, I owe the beginning of the show and the name of the show.
Yeah, I love that. A lot of times it takes encouragement in our life, somebody really kind of nudging us along. In Scott's case with me, it was kind of him shoving me along. It's like he dumped all this stuff on me and said, get busy. And so there you go. And so I owe a lot to him in prodding and moving me that way. I've been able to encourage other people to live stream that I thought were just naturals in that arena, because Geoff, you are a natural too. Your show is amazing. It's very conversational, very authentic, very real, and I love that. And it's been a blessing for me to be on there. Sri, let's put it back to you and let us know. You've got so many things going on right now. You had a couple things happening. Tell us about that.
So right now I am doing a lot of fun stuff like cold calling, video emails, and I have clients. I actually have a client, her name is Poonam, and I don't know if you guys remember, but when we started with nothing, meaning like we were building our presence on LinkedIn, that's where she's at. And it brings back memories. And even Robert even reminded me, like, you need to step back sometimes and see where you started and see where you are, because helping Poonam is making me realize, like, I remember when I didn't know how to write copy. I didn't know how to post. I didn't know how to show up and express myself, feeling like, why am I telling people I'm doing this when I haven't helped one? But really, we've helped so many. It's just now we're realizing this is who I am. This is what I do. because now I'm going to ask you to pay me, and that relationship with success and finance and stuff like that. And then also working with clients who are doctors and lawyers, and I'm asking them stories, their personal stories, and they're thinking like, why would anybody care to hear my story? But we're finding that more and more corporations, the CEOs, the management, even they want the employees to start building a personal brand, because people want to start connecting at a human level. Like, I understand that this is your product, but who are you behind it? Like, why did you choose to work for this person? Or why did you create this firm, or go become a lawyer, or become a doctor?
Yeah, that is amazing. I think that, stories are so powerful. And I was actually in a live meeting yesterday, Scott, in Corvallis, Oregon, where Scott and I actually first met at the Corvallis Chamber. Even though we graduated from Oregon State the same year, same ceremony, didn't know each other till years later, and met through the Corvallis Chamber. And I was there, and we were at Coldwell Banker, Valley Brokers, on 9th Street in Corvallis, and the actual founder of that was telling a story about how they had to move a building, and it was a big accident in moving the building, and all this crazy stuff that had happened, and how she had everybody captivated with this story. And people love stories. They tell they tell so much. And Geoff, you have a story, and you are a great man of faith, as is Sri, a great woman of faith. And you and I have had opportunity to pray together and just do life together. And what do people need to know about you before we run out of time here? What is the story that you can end us with today?
Well, I would like, first of all, to thank you guys again for having me here. I think that your show is amazing, and I think the intentions are pure and so authentic. And to have Sri as part of the team and her to share the story. So, I mean, you guys are just amazing. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I would just say to people, there's a lot of chaos going on in the world. There's a lot of distractions going on in the world. And there's things that we can kind of just lose sight of what we're meant to do, right? And we get all bottled up, and we get all locked down on things that really we can't control. So I would ask you to think about this word that, you hear it a lot of times, but you don't really understand the power of it. Let's all begin to really seek to find some harmony in life, right? Let's bring everything together and think of a symphony, this magnificent symphony, and all the instruments and all the different people. When that conductor begins that show, everything sounds amazing. Let's find a life that's full of harmony. Let's find a life of unity. Let's find a life of connection. Oh, man. The world doesn't have to be the way it is. Let's begin to make changes.
Yeah, that is so beautiful. That's so great. So how do people get in touch with you, Geoff? They want to learn more? How do they get a hold of Geoff Tyson?
Spotify, I have Geoff C. Tyson at gmail.com has all my information. If you reach out to that, Geoff C. Tyson at gmail.com, YouTube channel, Facebook, reach out to me and let's connect and let's begin that journey. Be part of change for the better.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And Sri, let's wrap it up. You give everybody your gold nugget today and how they get in touch with you.
My gold nugget for today would be, remember where you started in your journey and compare it to today. You can actually create that video. You can show the behind the scenes, but also talk about that journey. How did you overcome whatever that was? For example, if it's live streaming, I didn't have the right equipment to stop me from going live. I show the boxes, I show the cart, I show what my setup was and where we are today. So we appreciate that, and others will appreciate it. You can connect with me here on LinkedIn, and every Wednesday, all three of us, Russ, D. Scott, myself, we go live on Instagram. It's called The Experience Backstage, where you get to see the behind the scenes. And then you can come here on Wednesday morning and hear not just for myself, but the other amazing guests that Russ and D. Scott bring on the show, The Experience.
All right. Awesome. Scott, wrap us up here.
I think it's just so much fun. I love getting into the room here with people have a positive outlook. And, we were talking about people wishing their lives away. And it's great, Geoff, to spend time to meet you and to spend time with you and Sri. And you are both people who have chosen to live a life that makes a difference. And so thank you so much for being here with us today on The Experience.
Thank you.
We appreciate you both. We're going to send you to the green room, but hang tight for a minute. We're going to wrap things up, but we'll see you on the other side.
Okay.
All right. Woo, I'm telling you. They're both such amazing friends. I'm telling you. I know you're just getting to meet Geoff, but what an amazing man. He called me last night and we were able to talk for a moment, get ready for today and pray together. And I just really appreciate him and his spirit. And it's important as you get to know people. I always joke with people. Connection to me is lifetime. I'm a lifetime connector. You know this, Scott. Once you meet me, you're stuck with me as your friend, right? I'm not going anywhere. In fact, you probably hear from me. Yeah, you might hear from me more than you want sometimes. Who knows? But I think that it's important in life. Come together, enjoy the experience of life. That is what we're all about. This experience, God gave us this abundant world to experience and make choices every day to do positive things or negative things. And you know what? I don't think that's much of a choice. To me, let's choose positive. Let's move and make amazing things happen. And while you're doing that, you can join us here every Wednesday on The Experience Live with Russ and Scott for our amazing guests that make Scott and I look good. And we're here Wednesdays at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Before that, we're on Instagram only at 6:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time with The Experience Backstage with Sri every week. And so we love that. And so you can join us on either. Don't forget, this show sits on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube after we're done. And you can go there. And on top of that, you can subscribe to the experience.video and be part of our YouTube community. And on top of that, if you miss all of that, tune in on your radio dial or on your phone as you're driving and find us on your favorite podcast platform. We're out there as well, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, whatever you like. So
all those great platforms. It's right. So exciting. And I just want to thank our sponsors as well. For being a part of this journey. Kathy over at Brew has just been a fabulous person to connect with, and her and her husband have a great restaurant there, a big part of the community, and I just appreciate their support for the experience. And I just encourage people that if you want to get your message out, share your business, contact Russ and ask him when the next opening is for being a sponsor on The Experience, or Marketing with Russ, or Russ Reels. And we've got Russ Reels coming up tomorrow that I'm going to be a part of. So I'm excited about that.
That's right. And I'm excited about that. It's going to be a great show tomorrow. So tune in 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Russ Reels Live. It is a great group. That is a topic-driven, panel-driven live stream. And you will not want to miss it because we have great guests tomorrow. It's going to be so good. So don't forget, next Wednesday we'll be here again. We appreciate all of you. Join us on YouTube as part of our community. Share this with your friends, whether you watch on live or on replay. You can put #TeamReplay. Let us know you were here and share this still with your friends. Let them know the amazing guests we have here on The Experience Live with Russ and Scott. And until then, have a great day and a great life, and we'll see you soon. All right? Bye, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in to The Experience Live with Russ and Scott. If you enjoyed today's show, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or subscribe on YouTube. See you next time.